well, if you didn't see it, well, what do you think a woman's power of the V is?
Oh man, what I think of it as the magnificent of creation of life, um, just the whole embodiment of what it means to be a woman, to be able to nurture life. I think about but breast milk and how we think differently and how uh, um, uh, anyways, I think of innate, not for everyone, um, love and care and forethought and all of those things, and how yeah, that's what I think. That's just right.
Is there any other power that a woman has that is a V, that starts with a V?
Oh, submission. I mean, I just think of vagina. I mean, I think of sexual power, obviously.
Right. Female sexual power is definitely um high because they say they have said that wars have been fought over the woman.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Men have died over. Me and the boys talk about that, about a woman saying something, whether it's your mother, your girlfriend, your sister, and you go defend her, and this motherfucker, you don't know she was the one who started it. I mean, yeah, we actually know a kid who went to jail for 20 years. A girl told his she went and told her brother that someone called her a bitch. He went over there, beat the guy up, put him in a headlock. The other kid ended up dying. They were like 17. And he spent 20 years in prison over because someone called a sister a bitch, and how men, to the death, like defend that, whether it's their sexual V or their maternal V.
Right.
But anyways, no, you said, is there another V power that I think of? No, I
Yeah.
think of
So in the video, the V is the voice.
ah, fuck. Oh, 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 I like that.
And so, which is more powerful, the voice or the vulva?
Well, this is what I think. I think that they are both equally powerful in different ways, as kind of like the Trinity, the voice, the vagina, and I don't know what the third one would be, but
The
I
vulva,
think
the actual part of the clitoris. The
uh-huh.
vagina is the whole thing. It's the canal. It's all of it.
That's okay. Okay.
You know,
Hmm.
but the vulva is like, the really sensitive parts
Uh-huh.
that gives us like all type of pleasures and wonders and out of body experiences.
This is you mean the part that makes um Ryan's eyes roll up in his head and make let's say for me that part. Um mm, but yeah, and so it's so funny that you say that. So I think that when you say that, because I guess have never thought of it like that specifically, because I think of the V, I just think of the V when you look at a woman in her pants, like if she was in panties or, tight pants, that V in the front, right? I think of the V from the, what do you call it? From the uterus, that fits into to the canal, So that's, I guess, the V that's in my mind. I think of, I guess yeah, I guess so. I guess I'm thinking of I hadn't even thought of it that specifically. Nigga, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I
that's what we
hadn't even
normally
thought
tell
about
them when they ain't doing it right.
it.
Oh, you talking about you forgot you were driving. You talking to a driver. Oh,
I was
I'm
talking to.
sorry.
Shut up.
Don't mind us. This is coaches in conversation.
But
Drinking,
yeah,
we both drinking our coffee, getting our cream on. No, this is
yes. And this is I'm using
Filter, you
almond
are
milk for
too
my
much.
cream.
Stop it. Stop it. No, I'm just kidding.
I agree. Yeah, so that's a really um deep conversation, and yeah, that's really, really deep. And I think that is there real do you have more power when you have more connection to a person? Because is it that powerful if you don't have any type of connection to a person?
Um,
Is it
it's
powerful just because you believe it is? What?
yeah. I think we as female and female energy, because even a male has female energy. But when a woman wields her feminine power, her feminine goddess energy, she doesn't necessarily even have to use, the vagina at all. Just her mannerisms will exude that energy and be able to weave situations to her favorability. I don't want to say manipulate, but weave things into their favorability, because that's a master communicator. So we definitely have to use our
Absolutely.
voice, but we can even do it without using our voice. We can use it with our eyes, with our body language, with our hands, with just think about hula dancing. Oh my God, they don't say anything, but they're moving
Mm-mm.
their bodies and not just telling a story, but just having a sexual experience with them, meaning not physically sexual but intimate experience. So I think for me it's so powerful. Of whatever V we use, it has power.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
But yeah, so if you didn't see it, it was just me being cute. You know how I am when it comes to the reels. But that's all. So anything
Mm.
else on the vulva or the voice or the vagina?
No, I think this was a great conversation. It's so interesting because I used to, when back in my old life when I was married and had all three of the boys in the house, um, I felt like I have the power to really be to almost coordinate what went on in the house. Um, there would be moments where um, there's certain things that I really had a say so in that were very impactful to my son specifically. I can't speak for their father, but specifically for the boys, And I guess I look forward to seeing what that looks like in another long-term healthy relationship. I think because this stage in my life has been more focused on just me, not necessarily connecting with others, you know. So I'm curious as to what that will look like or tapping into it. Actually, I had a conversation with a friend yesterday at a meeting, and um, we were talking about um, her child wants to be called they, right? Feels that they are on this spectrum. What is it on?
Of male and female.
Right, yeah. So, and I said, oddly, I really feel like I can relate to that because I think that growing up, I definitely had people call it tomboy, but I had definitely way more male energy. Physically, I definitely looked like a girl, but I just really, I would see my sisters being so feminine, and I just did not have those qualities. Even now, sometimes I feel a little bit more comfortable. Like if I wear a dress, I have to really like love the dress and buy into buying a dress. It's like a real conscious decision. I don't wake up and think, oh, I'm going to put on a dress, right? But I've had this male energy, right? And even though I love men and I love men parts, right? And that's why I desire to be in relationships with. Um, I think that there's something to be said about people being able to accept their feminine and masculine energy, right? And it's okay to be a girl, to be a woman or a girl, and have masculine traits. Does it make you a male or make you gay? You know, um, it just makes you, uniquely who you are. You know, like I said, even now, I very seldom think, oh, I want to put on a dress, you know, because that's something that is told that makes you feminine. Just a lot of things where I see women being very over the top girly, like doing your nail. I see women doing their nails and think, oh, it looks really pretty. I just don't have a desire to do all that. I put on makeup more so now because I'm 53 and could need some assistance, you know. Um, but I don't wake up thinking, oh, yay, I get to do eyeshadow. I, you know,
Right.
I, I don't do that. And I think there's something to be said about really being able to embody. I think when I embody my uniqueness of like who I am, that makes me feel more womanly, right? Being able to wear sneakers, being able to skateboard and feel free, because something that typically guys do more, but being able to accept exactly who I am actually makes me feel more feminine, when I feel more like myself. This is my form of femininity, you know? Um, yeah.
So was this an issue for just you, or did you receive other voices to tell you or encourage you to be quote unquote feminine the way society has stated, like the dresses, the makeup, and all that stuff? Did you hear other voices tell you that, or was that an inner voice when you compared yourself to other women?
It was mostly an inner voice in my comparison, seeing, I said, my sisters specifically, who were so fucking girly, and I just had no desire to do those things. So my mom sometimes would say that I was weird, because I would want to go outside and toss a football, literally. There were societal moments like, me collecting baseball and football cards and wanting to join the card trading team. And they, at school, in elementary school, and they said, you can't join it because you're a girl. I,
Hmm.
I'm like, I didn't understand, what did me peeing sitting down have to do with anything? Literally didn't, I did not understand that, you know? Um, so I guess there were things from society, me getting a skateboard. I was so excited. Sold, these products, whatever, out of a catalog, door to door, my neighborhood and my grandmother's neighborhood. And I
Hmm.
did that for like a whole year, saving up for enough points to get a skateboard. Finally got a skateboard, and the boys were really excited to skateboard with me. And I didn't understand. I rode my skateboard just like them. Like I wanted them to teach me tricks and stuff, you know. Um, Boys didn't want to skateboard with me. They might have wanted to snap my bra, try to grab my butt, but they wouldn't. They wouldn't skateboard with me. My mom would not allow me to go to skateboard parks because she said that's what boys did. So yeah, I guess there were moments where people said things and didn't. I clearly felt like a girl. I was not trying to be like a boy. I just happened to like activities that other boys like. I just happened to not enjoy dresses, and maybe part of that could have been from the over sexual responses that I get, like from or have gotten in the past wearing a dress. Because having a big butt and like my butt moves when I wear a dress, and the amount of attention is, to me, overwhelming. It is absolutely overwhelming. I feel self-conscious. I get tired of the remarks from men and women. Sometimes sometimes it's okay, like if you have a personal relationship, but sometimes it's just overwhelming because then I'm imagining what are other people thinking who don't know me, you know? Like, oh, that thing is just jiggling everywhere. And oh my gosh. And you're just like, I just want to wear my outfit like other people. So that might be a contributing factor to why I feel uncomfortable in dresses. Um,
how powerful your voice is. That is I mean, I have many similar stories, but to hear someone else say it as well is is powerful for me right now. Because my mother, I'm not gonna cry. She hated my tomboyishness.
Mm,
I hated dresses.
mm,
Hated it. I remember she made me wear a dress for school pictures. It was a red dress to make it so bad. And me being a gangster, I
mm.
did not
Oh my
finish red.
God.
But
Right.
so she just not make me wear a dress. She made me wear a red dress. I still have the
Mm,
picture, but every time I see that picture, I felt the most ugliest person in the world.
mm,
I like jeans and tennis shoes and a t-shirt.
mm,
I didn't want to be wearing a dress to me was too exposing. I didn't want to be touched. Just like for you, my breasts were always big. I don't need,
mm,
either I'm gonna look like a moo because it's so big, or
mm.
someone's gonna see me and see too much of my power as a feminine. But who wants that at 10 or 11?
Right.
I
Exactly.
just want to ride my
Exactly.
bike and get on the ground and play jacks and climb a
Right.
tree and
Right.
break my arm and my leg like I did. I
Mm,
didn't want
mm,
all of that attention at that time, especially from my background of being molested. Who wants to continue to want to be
mm.
wanted
Right. In
in
that
a
way.
way that I did not want to be wanted?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
Mm,
Thank you for sharing that. That was powerful. It just reminds me that for me it was more of outside voices, um,
mm.
the inner voices. Because when I chose clothes, when my grandmother, allowed me to choose my clothes, it was jeans. It was all different colored jeans from a swap meet. T-shirts and Nikes. I didn't want to wear no sandals. I didn't want to wear no boots. I didn't want no. But my best friend, she is like you say for like your sisters, because I don't have any sister, but my best friend, oh my God, I don't think nails. She wears nails and makeup and now her, wigs and weaves but she's always done that. She had a little fake
Mhm.
ponytail, I think in middle school or maybe it might have been high school. Before it was like super popular when you got teased, or she just wore braids, which was
Uh,
acceptable. But I'm like, man,
uh-huh.
she's always been feminine, and
Mm,
then I always was at all with her. And also, one other close friend, but she was feminine energy, but she wore a lot of jeans. She still wore dresses and stuff, but she didn't do makeup. She didn't do nails. It was just something else about her where, like I said, she wielded that female energy like all over the place. But she was in jeans and a t-shirt too. And I'd be like, "Who is you? Can I? How do you do that?
but you
I
but you
want some
think
of
about
that power." Where all
but
the
you think
boys are
about it.
looking but looking with respect and reverence
Right.
versus
Right.
lust.
Right.
Like
Right.
I don't have to wear a mini skirt. I don't have to be the freak that comes out at night looking like a slut. No, no,
Right.
no.
Right. Right. But you think about it, it is what society deems as feminine, right? We
Mm-hmm.
were feminine, but in our own way. For me, I like you said, jeans, girl, Jordache, Sergio Valentes, whatever. Oh
Yes,
my gosh,
honey. I
tight.
want the little triangle on the back.
Oh my gosh. Ditto's had a horseshoe jean, and so it had a seam that went from the back of your one leg all the way up around your butt and the seam went all the way down to the other. That horseshoe thing,
Mm-hmm.
girl, oh my God, you can't tell me I wasn't fine in those jeans, right? And so, and so like that was my form of femininity, right? And and so was I feminine? I think so. I think that some of it was um definitely outside voices impacted. And I guess what it was is that there was something wrong with me because I wasn't feminine in that way, you know?
we wasn't feminine in
And
the Vogue and teen magazine way where they was trying to and Miss, my grandmother used to give me Miss magazine where they showed you how to put on makeup that didn't look like makeup for my age, you know? It was like,
uh-huh.
I don't want that crap on my face. I still don't want that crap on my face. I'm a still naked face girl.
It's funny. I remember in middle school, so I decided I was going to wear some eyeshadow, right? And I went to the building, and I went to school. I was so excited. Blue eyeshadow, of course, because it was
Of
the
course, of course.
80s. So I had borrowed some from a friend, and I got to school and I went in the bathroom and put it on. And I remember one of the boys cracking up. He's like, "Why would you put that crap on your eyes? Your eyes look perfectly fine without it. That is so stupid." He's like, "I did," and so it wasn't like he was making fun of me. I just remember it was like, "Oh, so you're saying the regular me is enough?" You know? And so that was like, oh, I don't have to do this. It was almost like it gave me permission to not want that anymore. You know? Um, yeah, that was powerful for me, him saying that, and not feeling the power to or the pressure to do the eyeshadow, to do the skirts. Like I would love to wear skirts, but when because of my butt, not only does it jiggle, but it lifts things up in the back. So something will look to my knees in the front and literally will be hiked up in the back. And when I tell you the amount of attention that I get in to me, even from other women, as I get as much attention from women as I do men about my shape, about what they see, and maybe I don't know if it's because I never uh, had an opportunity when I was younger to know that it's okay to be comfortable with it. I don't know if that's it. I don't know if it's because of unwanted sexual experiences. I don't know if it was because of molestation. I don't know, but I've been comfortable with that type of attention from people. It makes me uncomfortable, and I'm assuming it's because of unwanted sexual advances
Right.
when I was young, and so I don't necessarily desire that. Like I went back through, actually, I was going through pictures. Someone was saying, "Oh, can you send like a picture where you kind of like a sexy look?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you consider sexy?" And I went through and like, I don't think I have any pictures where you'll see me with something that's low cut, uh, revealing. I just don't. I don't even have boobs. For me, it was like I got so much attention from my ass and my hips that God knows if I didn't want to add anything on with showing these little bitty titties. Like if that were to make it worse, so I typically I don't think about that. And I actually used to wish that I was one of these women who could go out and dress sexy and a tight skirt and, you know, whatever, something revealing and have people look and be okay with it. I wish I could do that. But internally, I think there's some fear around it, uncomfortableness. I've gotten a bit more comfortable since I've been skating. Gotten more comfortable with dressing differently and even like the whole doing the videos and stuff at the rink. That has been a great exercise for me to go there and dance. I always wear leggings or some type of workout pants or something like that just for comfortability. And
Mhm.
I can't wear like a long t-shirt that covers up my butt because I need to move. So that has been kind of liberating for me. And there I don't get that type of attention. I get compliments, you look nice, but no aggressive sexual attention at the skate rink, you know? Even last Sunday when I volunteered at the Sophie Cypher, they premiered the documentary. It
Mhm.
was so good, Angelina. Oh my gosh. I was so proud. You know, my friend, it's my friend's son who we known each other since Conyers, right? And so I've known him since he was like, I don't know, like 11 or something, 11 or 12. And so it was incredible. And just like the evolution has been, so Food Cypher has been an organization for 10 years, and I've been a part of it for 7. And anyways, just like seeing some of the kids for the past 7 years, and like evolving on this. It was an excellent documentary. And so they asked us to dress in all black. So whenever I volunteer there, I wear jeans and a Soul Food Cypher t-shirt. And of course, they're not women cut shirts. They make me, like, look, it was big and blocky. You don't see a person's shape. So I wore, they said wear, because I was volunteering, but they didn't want us in t-shirts. So I wore black pants and a fitting black blouse, right? And one of the attendants there, who I know, who I've known for a while, I'm pretty sure she's gay, right? I went to give her a hug and like, hey, it was so good to see you. And she was like, ooh, I didn't know you was sick. First of all, that word always really is a strange word for me. I don't know. I feel like it's code for fat. That's what it feels like, right? But and she was like, oh my gosh. So when she was hugging me, she had her hands on my hips. And then she went from my back down, her hands down to my hips, like, dang, like, oh, look at all of that. You're like, oh, fuck, you know. But she wasn't aggressive. She was like, I haven't seen all this. And I was like, oh my gosh. I didn't feel afraid or anything like that. But I'm like, oh my gosh. Did not one man look at me, but of course somebody was gonna say something.
Mhm.
So that was my version of being sexy, and then the girl hits on me, you know. Um, I don't think it was. Had a man done that, it might have felt more traumatic because it was a man, you know. Um, and that fear of what more can he do? I was just like, oh, okay. Um, but yeah, so I think it's the fear of that type of attention. It was funny at the moment. It wasn't anything big, but it caught me off guard, you know.
Right.
And I think I do know her and I'm familiar with her, but she's never paid me 2 cents of attention, until that moment.
You felt it was
Um,
more of a compliment, not a pass.
yes, absolutely. It could have been a slight pass, but I'm like, I didn't, you know,
Of
um,
her being flirty just to be flirty, because
yes,
that's part of
yeah,
who she is. But yeah.
right,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, so that was interesting for me. I hadn't had a woman hit on me in a while. I was like, oh shit, I must really look good. This girl are looking at me. Um, but I think that stems from safety. If a man hits on you, who is he? What is he gonna do? You know, have you seen him interact with other women, can you trust him? Or I'll never
Hmm.
be around him drinking because I get a little loose when I drink. Shit. Like, so I won't be around him if I drink, those types of things. So yeah. Anyways, this has been a really great conversation for me because one of all these 7 years I've known you, we've never had the conversation about a tomboy or not feeling feminine.
Hmm.
And I don't think it's something that I talk to other women about. I still feel that sometimes when I see my sisters, it's almost annoying to me. Like Shauna, the one who's a year younger than me, she's so feminine that it annoys me, but it shouldn't because that's just, you're just like, I know she's not trying to be, you know?
Right. That's just who she is. That's her
Yeah.
authentic self. So yeah.
Right. But it's
Well,
it's annoying to me when time when I just want to do stuff that is naturally me and she can't do it because like, oh hey, after we finish eating, let's go ride scooters. Oh, I only bought heels. The fuck? You went on a trip and you only brought who does that? I
a
don't
feminine
bring heels in.
person.
Right, but I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. Like you would have
Hmm.
to say, "Hey, Tony, when we're going to Florida, we might go out someplace. You might need to bring a dress and heels. If not, nigga, ain't gonna be no dress and heels in my bag,
Come on
right?
now. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
Right. That's
What
why we were synced up on the trip, right?
exactly? What I still didn't bring no heels. I brought flat sandals, cute. But
Me too.
what
Me too.
what sentence, just one sentence of wisdom do you want to give the next generation who feels um that they have to be a part of someone else's standards of femininity or masculinity of whoever they want to be? What's one advice for them?
I would just say don't believe anyone else's definition of femininity or masculinity. What it means to you is that is all that is important. And for me to be my best self, for me to be my best self and anyone else to be their best self, they have to accept exactly who they are. There's no one formula. And just because you don't match a formula for what um, society has made does not mean that you are less than or more than, you know?
I agree. Thank you for that run-on sentence. I'm just
Oh,
teasing.
sorry. Shut up, baby.
I will close and say that who you are is who you are. And the right
Mhm.
people will come to you and love you
Yes,
just for who you are. Point blank,
yes,
period. Don't change for anybody unless you want to
yeah,
change for yourself.
yeah. I concur. I
All
concur.
right. Well, thank
Well,
you for Coaches in Conversation or Coaches in Cream because we had our coffee and we be on it, doggone it.
this is so
Follow
not
us, connect with
what I
us. You got a
expected.
question about your vulva or your vagina or your voice, reach us at Safe to Speak.
Oh my
Bye.
gosh.